Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, let's have a look how much does actually a wedding cost. In this video, in particular, I'm going to talk about how much does a wedding cost in Switzerland. Because if you ask Google, it tells, on average, 30 or 40k. Let's have a look together if it's actually true. The cost of wedding depends, of course, on a variety of factors, and I think it's impossible to end up just with one value. So in this video, I'm going to provide you a range, and then in the end we see how big this range is. The cost of wedding, not only in Switzerland but in general, of course depends on a variety of factors, such as the location, the guest list, the type of venue, the type of services provided. And of course it depends on the vendors you choose. Because some venues they may charge a flat rate for the rental of the space, while others may charge per person based on the number of guests. Also, it's important to keep in mind that some venues they may have minimum guest requirements or other restrictions that could affect actually the total cost of the wedding. So it's important to research potential venues and their pricing before making a final decision. What I saw and what I actually gonna show you that in Switzerland, on average, the venue charge between 80 and 400 Swiss francs per person. It actually depends on the level of luxury and services provided. That's why today I'm going to show you the range. One option that would suit more tight budget and another one for those who wants to invest more in the wedding day. So first let's have a look on more luxurious option. So here we have a venue that charge around 340 per person. It's quite a nice location based on what is shown on the website. And let's have a look what is actually included in this 340 per person. The package is available from 40 persons, and as you can see, there is champagne aperitif, dinner, which is a 4-course dinner. Some decorations are included, and they also provide additional services such as menu cards, white covers for bar tables and chairs. As I told you already, I hate actually those. So I would always advise you to check how the chairs actually look like under these covers, because you might be surprised, maybe you like them more than actually in chair covers. They also include the complimentary tickets to exit the car park. So I would say it's almost all-inclusive solution, and for this you would pay 340 per person. Let's have a look on cheaper solution. Assuming that you want just to celebrate your wedding in the restaurant, and there they would provide you wedding menu, wedding dinner, and in addition you would need to pay some extra cost to rent the hall. So actually it is possible to find a restaurant that would charge you between 65 and 95 Swiss francs per person for the menu. So it's a 3-course menu. And then in addition you would need to pay the fee for the rent, which is depending on the area you want to rent, between 750 and 1,500 Swiss francs. Assuming we are planning a wedding for 40 people, I would reserve for the venue between 3,750 and 16,000 Swiss francs. Venue is one of the most significant expenses that adds to your budget, but of course it's not the only one. Now let's have a look how much photography would cost. Again, the cost of wedding photography in Switzerland, and not only here, will vary widely depending on several factors, such as the photographer experience, reputation, the level of services provided. But on average, a professional wedding photographer may charge anywhere between 150 to 600 Swiss francs per hour. So let's assume we need to book a photographer for 10 hours, then it will add us anything between 1,500 and up to 6,000 Swiss francs. Some photographers may also offer additional services such as engagement photo shoots, photo albums, or even videography, although you know I'm against it. It's always better if you book a videographer separately, but all this can increase, of course, the overall cost. So it's really important to carefully research potential photographers, their pricing, services, to ensure that you are getting the best value for your money. So as I said, here for example you have 600 per hour, but it could be also much lower prices. If we talk about videography, to my surprise, I was really shocked, honestly, because here videographer costs less than a photographer. And it was such a big surprise for me, because when we organized our wedding in Russia, it was the other way around. And for me it's kind of logical, because it takes much more time to provide you a nice video clip or video film about your wedding day. And honestly, you can always make a print screen of your video and create a picture based on it. But nevertheless, in Switzerland, the cost of videographer a bit lower than the cost for photographer. So here on average you would pay about 3,000 Swiss francs. And this price typically includes pre-wedding consultation, coverage of the wedding day up to 12 hours, editing and post-production of the wedding video and the trailer. So for now, let's add to our list, on the one hand, 0 Swiss francs in case you are on a budget and you decided just to hire a photographer, so you don't add any extra cost to videographer, because still it's an option, and I know many people invest only in photography. On the other hand, if you go for videographer, let's take to our list 3,300 Swiss francs, reserved for videography. Flowers and decors, it's another section, really difficult to estimate, because it's the same as for the venue. You might pay basically 0 rent if you organize a party in the garden, especially if it's your garden. And at the same time, there's no upper limit, because flowers, for instance, they're very expensive, and compositions made of them, they could be really huge. So here you just need to set up upper limit for yourself. Otherwise, there's no limit that you could invest in the decorations. But on average, a wedding flower budget in Switzerland can range anywhere from 2,000 to 10,000 or more. And these prices, they typically include the bridal bouquet, boutonniere, centerpieces, and some other deco arrangements. In addition to the cost of the flowers themselves, there may be also additional charges, for example, for delivery, setup, and removal of the flowers and decor. So some florists may also charge for design and consultation fee, so keep this in mind. Let's add to our budget 210K. Let's talk a little bit about entertainment. This is very important, and I know many people in Switzerland and worldwide really invest in entertainment, and they do it on purpose, because entertainment is actually the mood of your day. So this is very important to consider. Let's have a look how much does it cost to hire a DJ or live band or live music. So on average, what I discovered that in Switzerland a professional wedding DJ may charge between 1,000 to 3,000 Swiss francs, and this is for about 6 hours set. If we are talking about live band and musicians, then they may cost more. The range is somewhere between 2,000 and 10,000 Swiss francs. There are other factors that can affect the cost of the wedding entertainment, because you might also need to include equipment rentals, travel expenses, or any special request or accommodation needed. So you have to discuss all these details with your chosen entertainer to ensure that you are aware about any additional costs involved. So for now, let's add 1,000 and 10,000 Swiss francs for the entertainment. The cost of bride's outfit. Let's estimate how much does it cost in Switzerland. As you can see, it can vary greatly depending on the style, material, design of the dress, as well as also any other accessories or alterations and additional service that might be needed. But let's say on average, a wedding dress in Switzerland can range from 1,000 to 10,000 Swiss francs. Of course, even more, but we take this range for consideration. So this price typically includes the dress, but not additional accessories. I think it's important to mention that in addition, you will need also to pay for veil or jewelry. Groom's outfit. Less expensive than the wedding dress, but still you have to consider to reserve on average between 400 Swiss francs and 2000 Swiss francs for the groom's outfit. As a hint, if the groom decides to rent, for example, a tuxedo, then the prices, of course, gonna be much lower. Don't forget to include the cost of wedding makeup and hairstyle into your list. Again, it depends pretty much on the artist's level and the complexity of the look you actually want to have. But on average, I would say the cost of makeup and hair services, based on what I saw, somewhere in the range between 300 to 800 Swiss francs. So let's take these two values and add them to our budget list. Let's talk shortly about rings. Again, it depends pretty much on the metal, on the amount of diamonds and the purity of diamond you want to have. But if we check the average cost, then a basic set of wedding bands made from gold or platinum, it can cost somewhere between 1,000 to 3,000 Swiss francs. And of course, depending on the thickness of the ring and the number of diamonds, the price can easily increase up to 10 or 11,000 of Swiss francs. So if we sum up the prices for all the items I just listed, the range that we will get is somewhere between 10K in case you plan your wedding really tight on budget, and the more luxurious option would cost you for 40 people about 70,000 Swiss francs or US dollars. So voila, on average you get 40K, the same as Google tells us. But now we know how this price is formed and what is included or what could be included. In addition, if you are planning a destination wedding in Switzerland, don't forget to add up, of course, the travel cost, accommodation cost, and not only for you, but for your guests. Any other details that I didn't list or included to this video, they will all add up on extra expenses. And I didn't even mention the wedding planner or at least wedding coordinator. Of course, you have to reserve some budget for this as well, in case you need one. And if it is a destination wedding, normally you do need one. So please let me know in the comments what do you think about the prices in Switzerland. Comparing to the place where you live or where you plan your wedding, are they lower or higher? Is there any items that surprised you? I would be really happy to hear your feedback. And yes, sometimes wedding is expensive, but there are always ways to reduce the cost. For example, by reducing the number of the guest lists, choosing less expensive venue, or just go for more simple decor options. I encourage you to establish and define your budget as early and as possible, and based on your priorities, book first the most important vendors to you. Yeah, so I advise you to establish your budget as early as possible. Try to stick to it to avoid overspending. See you in the next videos. Bye bye.